Good morning. It is August 23rd and I am back at the Notch Hostel. I got here yesterday probably around noon and took the bike into town to get some fuel because I needed fuel. And there's someone here doing trail magic this morning for breakfast, so looking forward to a great breakfast. And then I'm going to hit the trail and go over Mount Lafayette today. The plan today is 11 miles. And the first 3 or 4 are super steep, and it'll be my warm-up to being back on the trail, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's supposed to be a little rain this afternoon, but I've just gotten to where no matter what the forecast says, it kind of does what it wants to do anyway, and I don't know what a little rain looks like. Sometimes it looks like nothing, no rain, and sometimes it looks like a lot of rain, but I'm just gonna go for it. Well, I'll hike the mile from the Flume Visitor Center back to the trail. You can see the blazes behind me, so I'm officially back on trail and so happy to be here. So here's my sad earring story. See this earring? Well, I had both of them on this morning. I've worn them the whole AT hike. I took them off and cleaned them really well when I was home and put new backs on them. However, I just noticed that one is missing, and it must have happened when I took my hoodie off. And I retraced my steps and I didn't find it. Kind of sad. But the good thing is I've actually lost one of these earrings before. And so I bought a new pair, so I have a spare one. It's at home. These are my favorite earrings I call them my hiking earrings. So I always wear them hiking, and I'll have to finish the trail with just one earring, unless somehow it ended up in the bottom of my pack somewhere when I get settled in tonight. Also, I kind of feel kind of fancy because I left kind of in a rush when I was going to catch my flight, and I realized that I didn't take off my necklace, and I still had rings on, so I have other jewelry on, but I'm gonna miss that earring. But glad I have a spare at home. First world problems right here. I just want to give a shout out to my grandson Lincoln, because I'm on top of Mount Lincoln, which is like 5,080 something feet, and I started today at 800 feet. So I've been climbing. It's the second of the third big mountains I have to summit today. So just one more after this, Lafayette, and I think I'm going over Garfield too, so maybe there's 4. There'll be 3 that I go over that are more than 4,000 feet, and the one little haystack that I just came over was just under 4,000. But not much of a view today, but still loving it. Made it at the top of Lafayette, and it dawned on me as I was climbing Lafayette that I think it's pretty cool that Lafayette is included in the presidential mountains. The first one was Lincoln. Although Lafayette was not a U.S. president, he was a citizen of France. He was instrumental in the military strategy which freed us from Britain. So he was a pretty important dude in our history. And you may not know this, but you may. George Washington had no biological children, but he did adopt a son, and he gave him the middle name Lafayette, because like I said, Lafayette was a pretty cool dude. Last night I stayed in the Garfield shelter in the White Mountains. You actually have to pay to stay in the shelter, but they have a through hiker pass. And so I have one of those. And so each night if I stay in the shelter, it's $5. So that's not too bad. There were only 2 other people in the shelter, which I was shocked because it was raining so much. And so at each of these shelters, they have a caretaker. And on the way out this morning, I looked more closely at her tent and realized she had an Alaska tent there as her shelter as the caretaker. So today it's supposed to rain again off and on. We'll see how it goes. I'm getting ready to go down some slick rock here, so I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. Talk to you later. Last night I stayed at the Ethan Pond shelter and I was so tired when I got there. Let's sit back there. And I just did 14.6 miles yesterday. I was hoping to do more, but it took me 12 hours with minimal breaks to do 14.6. And today I really need to do 14 because I have a reservation at Clouds, the Lake of the Clouds, something like that, at the hut there. So I am gonna just have to push no matter what. Today, I hope we get a little bit of a break. I don't think we are from the rocks and everything else, but it is what it is. And now I'm gonna stop filming and turn around and the camera around and show you this beautiful Ethan Pond lake. It's more of a lake than a pond, but here it goes. Just gorgeous this morning. I hope this weather holds out. I need it. It was so wet yesterday. It really slowed things down. So in New Hampshire, at the shelters, they have caretakers because at the shelters in New Hampshire, you actually have to pay to camp, to tent it, or stay in the shelter. And they have a special pass for through hikers where you don't have to pay $5. And So I have one of those. But last night when the caretaker came around, I looked at her and I'm like, I know her. And she's looking at me and she's like, don't I know you? And she actually was a thru hiker that I met back in Vermont. And she finished. And then she was doing this gig for a little while. So it was fun to see somebody that I knew. And we talked about where we first met, and she was the one, she's really good with birds. So she was helping us identify birds and their different sounds. So I'm a pretty smart gal. So it was good to see Snoopy. Hey, just want to give a quick shout out to my nephew Jackson, because I'm on top of Mount Jackson. So here you go. It was one heck of a climb, that's for sure.